Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Lynette. Today, we're going to talk about believing in yourself. And first, before we get into that and before we start with that, I want to bring to your attention and to memory that first and foremost, we never talk bad about ourselves. We have to develop that absolute confidence that the one person in the world that we can trust is ourselves. And therefore, you never want to let yourself down by saying anything bad about yourself. Recently, I was doing a lot of back and forth. I know I've shared with you my own health issues. And I was thinking, should I take this supplement? Should I get this? Should I do that? Should I try this exercise? I mean, everything became confusing to me. And so I sat there with a quiet mind. I listened, meditated, prayed, and the answer that came to me, and I'm going to share this with you, this came to me for me. However, it might resonate with some of you. And the answer was that peace of mind is above all those things. So everything that I was praying for and trying out to make myself better, to make myself healthier. And oftentimes, and I've shared this with you before, when we pray and when we meditate, the answer we get is something that we never thought of. And I realized all this looking up stuff on Amazon, and now I can't tell how many supplements I've purchased trying to get better. And then the answer, peace of mind is above all these things. And that is so true. Have you noticed when you walk in peace, when you are content with the world, how you have a little bit better bounce in your step, how you can think more clearly? So our goal today would be to walk in this at all times. I realize when we get out into the world, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of static. There's a lot of opinions. There's a lot of gossip. There's a lot of good, some bad. So how do we combat this? And I would say that each day after we immerse ourselves in all of this, that we need to go home and have quiet time and listen for those answers. You don't necessarily need to take the time when you're approaching your day or living your day, but save it for when you get home and you'd be shocked of the peace you would get. Something I'm going to share with you is a week before last, I was feeling really good. I had a lot of energy. And I noticed I picked up the pace on my socializing. And it wasn't long. It only took a few days before I was saturated with just a lot of different things going on, just a lot to think about, a lot of different ideas, a lot of this, a lot of that. And I thought, oh my gosh, I forgot how this is. You know, they say there's a silver lining in every cloud. Well, because of my health, it made me stay home. And I thought that was going to be the biggest challenge I've ever had because I like to be on the go a lot, or I used to like to be on the go a lot. And since this has forced me to stay home, I developed a pretty peaceful attitude. I've developed more of listening to my inner self, to God, just sitting more quiet. And then jumping back into these social situations. Now, granted, we don't want to live in isolation. I realize that. There's got to be a balance. There's got to be time alone to build yourself up spiritually. But there also has to be a time to socialize and be around people. So allow yourself that time to go home and gather yourself, or not necessarily home, but wherever you can be. To sit quietly and to listen to that inner voice, to listen to the universe, to listen to God, to listen to the peace, to listen to the answers you get. And it's amazing how there are things that we have never even thought of. And as you learn to walk in this, you won't have to have as much quiet time alone. But this is until you develop a strong foundation that you can grasp onto it quickly. Another thing I'm going to share with you, it was, in fact, just yesterday. I was thinking about something that I really didn't know how to handle. To be honest with you, right now I can't remember what it was. That's how important it was. But I thought, oh my gosh, I need to sit quietly and meditate on this. And I got peace really fast. And the peace I got is that it made me realize how much I have changed in terms of listening and trusting myself. And by trusting myself, I mean trusting God working through me. And I didn't even have to sit down and meditate and pray at that moment because I realized that it's becoming a second nature. And if that becomes a second nature, that is what confidence is. That is what gives you what you need to get up and be your best self and live your best life. So the steps that it takes, well, first of all, we have to accept challenges. We have to accept change. And as I talked to you about before, when people come and go in our life, we have to realize that we can't stop their journey. We can't stop change. So we have to try not to take control and do our best to our ability to let everything go. And then sit quietly, do your praying, do your meditating, do everything to be healthy. So when you do pray and meditate and you are out in the world, you can handle situations a lot better. And that goes without saying about eating correctly and exercising. That's all for your physical well-being. But your spiritual, you need to pray and meditate. Then when you do go out into the world, you can handle things a little bit better. And if you can't handle them, when you have a moment to be quiet, to center yourself and share with God what is bothering you, and you will get the answer. But beyond that is walking in that peace. We sit, we meditate, we pray. It becomes second nature, almost like you're walking in a meditation, you're walking in a spiritual walk. And when you do that, that puts you in the present moment. You are living your best life because you can be present. You can handle what goes on. You can really observe what you're seeing and enjoy the present moment without your mind interfering, without your mind trying to analyze what's going on. You don't need to because you have that confidence within yourself that you will handle the situation right. You will say the right things. You're confident in you. You are believing in yourself because you know you're walking in the Spirit. And when you walk in the Spirit, you know that everything around you, everything you say, everything you do is correct. And what a blessed feeling that is. Most of the former episodes on this podcast are a step-by-step blueprint of getting to reach the plateau of being your best self. Although, as I've said before, I think we always have further to go. And again, it's until all of this becomes second nature. It's like up to this point, finding the tree of life and picking each leaf, and each leaf has a step that we should take. But eventually, when you have all the leaves, you wrap yourself in it, then you become a tree of life. And I believe that is our goal, is to absolutely be our best selves, to live our best life, to be confident, to know that we are handling each and every situation. And if we feel like we can't handle the situation, that we have a resource to go to. And another goal would be to be able to call on that resource quicker, to be more in tune, knowing that you can tap on that resource and that builds self-confidence. What I did realize is that no matter if things change or not, which I don't think they do change, when you look back in history, it keeps repeating itself. We may change in our knowledge, we may change in our technology, but basically things are still happening over and over. So what do we do about that? We learn. So it's not that we're different in terms of what we're experiencing on a day-by-day basis. The difference is we've learned how to handle it. We've learned how to call on God. We've learned how to immerse ourselves in spirituality and walk it on a little different plateau. I'm just saying it's different. It's at a different place to be. When we do come against challenges, though, in our everyday walk, we do need to step back. And although the longer you do this and the more in the spirit you walk, the quicker you will get the answers. But no matter what, sometimes things get too challenging and we have to basically recharge our battery. So we do need to take a step back and get filled again and get the answers so we can walk forward. And again, then it's one more lesson learned, one more thing we had to go through, and one more thing that builds our confidence. I know some of the earlier episodes talk about keeping your priorities straight and taking control. Leave that behind you. You don't need to take control of things. You don't need to always be putting out so much energy and doing that. It's exhausting. And if you have trust, if you have faith, you are able to not always trying to take control of situations, but just walk in knowing. Basically, again, I'm going to quote Steve Harvey when he said, believe and receive. If you can kind of make that your little mantra, believe and receive, that's basically what it amounts to in those few words, is walk in faith and just know and watch the results work themselves out. And again, that gives you confidence. And the reason I keep using the word confidence is walking in confidence is a big piece of the picture that we need to walk in peace. Because when you're confident, you can come up against challenges and you're confident in yourself. You're confident in your walk. And then you are being your best self, being your true self, and you're walking in your best life. Again, there's 83 previous episodes, so I can't go through all of them step by step. But if you have time, I would suggest that you listen to some or as many as you can, because they are in a way where it is a easy step by step, a growth situation. And believe me, I have been growing along with you. All of this has been great for me to listen to this as well and to walk in it. And I noticed changes within myself. Like I said, just yesterday, I thought I was going to have to sit quietly and meditate because there was a situation, and it came to me so fast. And I felt this peace, I felt this confidence, and I could just set the situation aside and be focused on being where I was, what I was doing, basically being in the present moment. So remember and be confident in the fact you don't have to worry about what supplement should I take, what should I eat, what shouldn't I eat, what should I drink, what should I do, what should I exercise, where should I work. All of that, if you have faith, that's the one thing you have to have, is faith, trust, confidence. All of those things will work out the way they're supposed to. And you have to be open to the outcome. Keyword, supposed to. It's not always exactly what we think is the right thing, But we got to know the way things work out are to our benefit. They are the best things for us in our walk right at this moment. Keep walking forward. Keep staying in the present moment. Keep stepping back and resetting your mind so that you have peace, so you have confidence. And believe in yourself. Trust in yourself. And just know that the decisions you make, the things you are doing are the right things. And all the jibber jabber that goes on around you, try to tune it out and know that you're above all of it. And none of it matters. None of it matters because sometimes we're either taking things wrong or we don't know where the person is coming from that says something. And as human beings, we all get hurt. Nobody likes to be talked about. But I think as you build the confidence and as you build the trust, as you build the faith, you won't be so consumed in all that. And you will see that all of those things have a way of working themselves out. Remember that peace of mind is the most important thing you can have. And by trusting yourself is how you develop peace of mind. So for all things that we want, all things considered, our health, our happiness, everything, it starts with trusting, believing in yourself, and having peace of mind. So I'm going to close with, as I started with, believe in yourself. I wish you all a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.